Hello and welcome listeners to another episode of Tactical Awareness. It's season 3, episode 24. We're doing Heroes to Zeros, Bakunin. This is the second in our sectorial reviews for Infinity N5, and I'm joined today by Owen and Dan as we make army lists, break down why we picked the faction units that we picked, and then go over any of the ones that we overlooked. So let's jump in, say hi to the boys, and get this underway. Record to this computer. We're doing it, Dan. We're doing it live. We're doing it for you, buddy, because you're the Bakunin player in this team. You know all about Bakunin, right?
Nuns?
Nuns. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Heroes to Zeros. This is our Infinity podcast where we make army lists for Infinity N5 from the various factions, break down why we took, what we liked, and then at the end do a roundup of any units and profiles we didn't include. Today we're doing part 2 of our Nomads breakdown with Bakunin. This is the freak brigade, if you will. This is like the most mixed group of people you could possibly imagine, where it goes from casino staff to nuns to weird freaky experiments from the Black Labs and one shirtless sex machine named Nomad Colony. This is a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, I went first in the last one, which is our Corregidor episode, which we've heard before. And Owen is the most recent player of this army, although I'm getting ready to paint them. So why don't you go first, Owen?
Sure. So this is a pretty, I even named it rounded because this is like a rounded list. This was someone, so I haven't been playing them much in N5. Obviously I've thought about it because I've got them and I was playing them into N4. But this is my attempt at just like an all-comers. He didn't know what scenarios he was going to play into. And so I went, all right, well, let's just lean on all the things then.
The things I like to take.
So all the things that I like and that I feel are particularly effective in this faction, or unique, or both.
Okay.
So Lieutenant Reverend Custodier, which I am a big fan of this lieutenant.
Can we talk about the Reverend Custodiers? Because they've had an up-down relationship the last couple editions, where like they were way too expensive for a while for like one wound dudes, and then they gave them, what was it, Frenzy?
No, you're mixing them up with the Reverend Moiras.
Oh, I'm thinking of Moiras. That's right.
Don't worry, they're still bad, but we could talk about it eventually. Maybe you'll bring a Moira and you prove me wrong.
Because the Custodians are all hackers. The
Custodians are the hackers.
They're 100% hackers, and min -6. Well, all the Reverends are min -6. They're all leaning into this mimetism game.
Yeah. I like the Custodier Lieutenant, if only because I get a hacking device plus.
White noise.
For my white noise, and I also can hide when I need to. It's kind of given away in this one, but I also like it because she's just a pretty good hacker. So even if you're fighting into those hacking games, you can shoot back, and it's not likely you're going to win, but it's a hell of a lot more likely than some others. My only downside is that if you bring her as the lieutenant, you can't bring the upgrade ones or the killer hacker, which I would like the upgrade Carbonite plus burst or the killer hacker, but so she goes. But she has a pitcher and she can hang out with Cenobites, and Cenobites they went up in cost. It's devastating. They're now 20 points instead of 19.
I know. They're your favorite. They're so good for their point value.
Sure are. So Mim 6, 2 wound, heavy infantry. Sure.
Yep.
They have plus burst chain rifles and flash pulses, so they can flash pulse you on the way in and then chain rifle you when they get there.
What an absolute
and they're solid average. They won't beat what's his name we were talking about in the previous one, Senior Massacre. But they will beat most melee guys. Like they'll go even with the knights, and they'll beat any kind of like normal fighter. Even the Gator doesn't want these guys coming after him. So I've got 2 of those to get my my Harris or my core. I don't remember which one it was in this list. I think it's my core. As a Reverend team. And then we've got Zoe and Pywell, because Zoe and Pywell, they're like Jazz and Billy, but better, in my opinion.
Great. Yeah, they're great.
Well, not necessarily better. They're just
Pywell can be marksmanship than has a combi rifle, which I find hilarious.
Pywell is a little bit of a monster. But, the Mim 6 triangulated fire
Yeah.
You don't need marksmanship because he
Nope.
just goes, yeah, I shoot you on 11s. Rat-a-tat-tat.
Like a little baby
AR.
AR. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mim 6 triangulated fire on him is actually hilarious because
It's
like,
oppressive.
are you on the board? 11s. If I die, I die. If only I had a gizmo kit plus burst whip 15 engineer nearby.
If
Oh wait,
only.
I do. Yep, Zoe's there. Her immunity BTS and shock immunity, I think, is pretty cool because she's now EM weapons are not as effective. So like an EM mine or an
Yeah.
emitter or something like that to try and isolate her rather than just shooting her and killing her. She's a little bit resilient to it.
Well, it's beyond normal hit.
Well, it just doesn't work. It just does nothing
Yeah,
because
because
they're
it's not
non-lethal.
lethal, right? Yeah.
So you open up the door to you have to fight me and shoot me to death.
And I'm just gonna walk through your minds.
Yeah, I'm not risking Zoe walking through a camo. I'm no matter how sure I am that that's an EM mine, I'm not doing it. but her big thing is that Pywell has a pitcher as well,
Yeah.
and she's just a wonderful engineer for my Stigmata, who is my next big boy.
Yeah.
Stigmata is an utterly unique tag, and the reason I like him so much because he's a hacker with ECM hacker built in.
He's wild.
I don't think I have an Evo in this list, but if you make the room for Evos, which you could, you can firewall tags, and now he's -6 to hack and BTS 9 effectively, and is a hacker. And so he turns into like a frightfully good hacker in that regard, because he's essentially behind a firewall or like a tin bot -6, but not quite.
Yep.
Because those two abilities go together. And then on top of that, he has a dead zone for shooting. Because of he's armed with a heavy flamethrower and a heavy rocket, plus burst on both of them. And he has hacking device upgrade, Carbonite SR -2. So he's very good at immobilizing people. So my usual play is I put repeaters in the midfield, and then he fights, and then people that show up in the midfield range band, he spotlight AROs instead of shoot AROs in order to have a fair opposed dice roll.
Tracks.
And then an orphan engineer. Orphans are another one of those amazing observance models that came out, and they basically didn't change. And he duos with the Stigmata. He's there to clear repeaters and fix the Stigmata if Zoe's feeling lazy. Brand's great. He's I do the job, man.
Brand's interesting because he's relatively cheap for what he does. He's got infiltration phys 16, so he can drop over the line on a 65% chance, right? With that
well, it's still a 13.
It's 65%.
Okay, sorry.
Right,
yeah.
13. He's only martial arts 2 though, only 1 dice. And his whole gimmick is fighting in melee. He does EM grenades, which are cool, but he's only CC 22. He's got Berserk. Surprise.
So my gimmick is -6ing you. He jumps 8 and is a specialist with mimetism and a marker state.
Yeah.
And he's also
not using him to fight them. Yeah, you're not using him to fight.
I'm not using him to fight. He's there to do objectives very effectively without having to do anything.
He's got a name so he can stamp his feet. He's over the line if he wants to be. He can super jump 8, like you said. Yeah.
He also, because of his marker state and stealth, he can get behind you with the EM grenades.
Can do.
And those will hit on 16s if he gets behind you, which is scary. Like there's
a lot grenades of kept their +3, and he's
don't want to get hit. And he can also spec fire grenades on 10s. With his infiltration and marker state, he can super jump 8 and then next order hit you with a EM grenade from out of line of fire over a wall. Yeah. So like I don't think I would ever roll the infiltration unless it was like capture and protect. I might risk it.
Right.
But I really like him as just he's a good do a job. I need you to go do the thing. Can you do it with your boarding pistol, EM grenades, and submachine gun? And maybe.
And if you can, well, thank you very much.
Lizard pilot, because he's the best tag pilot. Not just because he's the cheapest this time, but because he is an emitter. And I think that's wild.
He does.
But obviously he's there to make the Stigmata get that. Stigmata dodge 14. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
Flashball spot. Then the next group I have my Harris, which is a Taskmaster with 2 Morlocks. Taskmasters make Morlocks, Zellenkriegers, and Connolly, I guess. He's already regular, but I guess the Taskmaster just makes him more regular.
Makes him extra regular.
Yeah, but he's mine layer, crazy koala, so he's a good defensive piece. And then I gave him a heavy rocket for just reaching out and touching people. And then he like I said, he makes the other guys regular. We've got a missile bot because I'm not going to bring Hacker Zoe, Hacker Stigmata, Pitcher, Hacker Custodier, and not bring a missile bot.
Right.
And then just baggage to reload pitchers or exist. Yeah. There are many different lists you can make in this faction. So I'm curious what Dan has been furiously writing up right now.
I am too, Dan, and that means it's your turn because I went first. What do you got?
Not my. I'm not ready.
He's not
You're
done.
Not
yet.
ready.
No.
Yeah. Fine. All right. I guess I'll go. Hang on. I took the things Owen didn't take that Owen also likes. So we're going to.
Is it Uberfall Commandos?
It is definitely Uberfall Commandos.
Because
yes.
last time at Hotter Than Hells, I brought 3 units of them.
I'm well aware. And they're so good. Hang on, I gotta copy and paste this into the thing.
Poor Denma. He used to be so cool.
He did used to be so cool.
The change to smoke has made me less hyped about him.
Well, I mean, there's so many good warbands in this. There are 6 warband units, which is crazy. As we all know, warbands being the best.
Let's narrow that down to like 3, 4, I guess. Wolfgang and the extremes are the extreme. I can never make a case for. I can't figure that guy out. I don't know why you'd ever bring an extreme Zelen Creek.
That's why I gave him to Ash, because I was like, he looks cool, but I'm never going to use him.
Yeah. He's like, I have one, and I have brought them, but like
I brought him to. The problem is he's big. Like he's just his fizz is cool. That's what's cool about him. Is he's got the giant fizz. And there's never a bad thing about that. So
he's 1 fizz higher than Denma.
I get it, but you could have both him and Denma is the thing that I'm saying. Uploading the picture of this to the chat right now. That should be it.
Yeah, there's the rounder. There's the rounder.
I love rounders. Yep. They're so friggin' cool. So this is also kind of an all-rounder list. It's also literally shitting out hackers because there's so many cool hacker options in this. I debated Oahu. There's so many good hackers in this list. But I got 2 combat groups. I got a full stack of orders. I have so many orders in this army. There's 17 orders, I think, plus lieutenants, so 18 orders in this list. 2 fire teams. We've got a Harris fire team starting up at the top here with a rounder with a multi-marksman rifle. Now, rounders, there again, we shit a lot in this series on the reinforcement boxes. This is one of the times where you don't, because the rounder is from that box of like casino guys, and the background thing is he's supposed to be like able to spot like infiltrators and stuff. So he's got a biometric visor, MSV1. But he also has marksmanship, NCO, and terrain 0G, and a multi-marksman rifle. He's BS12, Arm 1, BTS3, and he's linkable. So this guy's hanging out with 2 moderators. We've got a moderator pitcher, and then a moderator with a hacking device. And that gives the rounder that extra die to be a little gunfighter. He's just a cool, you don't have to do anything to make him better. Reach out and touch at 24 with a multi-marksman rifle. He can kind of fight all comers if he needs to. And yeah, he's got the goods because he's just ignoring your mimetism and ignoring your cover. So he's probably hitting you on 15s no matter who you are. Then we've got another rounder because you can take 2 of them, AVA2. This is the hacking device upgrade Trinity. So now I've got 2 hackers in this list, and one of them's already got upgrade Trinity on them. With his Whip 13, has all the same skills. So he's got MSV1, marksmanship, NCO. So both these units can be pushed around with the lieutenant order. And yeah, and like there's not a lot else to say about that. He's just good at fighting, and he's got the upgrade to be more punchy with Trinity as well. And he's in a link with a moderator paramedic and another moderator the pitcher. And all of these are of course linkable, so I can get that burst bonus on the pitchers to reach out and hack things I want to hack. And a riot girl with Tinbot fireball -6. With the boarding shotgun. So this is more of an up close, go up and do objectives. I want them to go into rooms. I want them to litter the board with pitchers. And these are like my go get stuff done because the riot girl can point man if she needs to with that boarding shotgun and lead the way. And like up close clear things that the rounder couldn't see to kill with the multi-marksman rifle. And then for when things are too big for either of those to deal with, We have a lizard with an orphan as a duo. The orphan brings a repeater with them, is an engineer to fix the lizard, and the lizard's just, again, a great tag. ECM Hacker -3 also has a built-in repeater. BS Attack SR -1, and then Tack
But
Aware.
he's got armor 6 and has.
He's not. He's armor 8 for some reason.
2
he's just
wounds.
great, and he's the same point value as the fucking iguana.
Yep.
But he's got an EM grenade launcher and a grenade launcher, which I love. EM grenade launcher is real cool. Being able to spec fire grenades at 8s is a very cool proposition all of a sudden. And then he's got a Vertigo Zond as the last man in there because I've got so many hackers. I'll probably be able to get some spotlights down. The Vertigo Zond is there as the deterrent missile piece, though. I'm probably not active turning, but I have so many pictures that are linked that I can throw out that are reloadable because I do have a Salute later on. It's just why not take the Vertigo Zond because you got it as a threat. Group 2, we got Zoe and Pywell for all the same reasons. Owen took Zoe and Pywell. She's another hacker. She can do every possible job. And Pywell is possibly the best. Like, this guy's dug in. He's suppressing with min -6 in cover. How the hell am I going to deal with this piece that I can think of? He just shoots you.
You got to stop making that claim.
I know.
I guess that one was better because you said what you could think of.
Yeah.
I think he's really good.
He's really good for what he does. I got a moderator lieutenant and a moderator lieutenant to just hide. And then I've got my Chimera with 3 Pupniks because I love these guys. If you haven't played with the Pupniks, they're so fast. 6'4", climbing plus, CC Jack -3. They've all got viral close combat weapons or DA close combat weapons. So the leader has the viral and the rest of them have the DAs. They're just a threat. They just harass for 19 points, right? Just run and enhance.
Immunity enhanced is pretty sweet.
Yeah, immunity enhanced. Immunity enhanced with no armor and no BTS, though, which is hilarious because they're all Ninja Turtles.
Unfortunately, just roll a dice.
Yeah.
But hey, the ARO shoots you with an HMG explosive round.
They cost like 1 point.
Okay.
If you look at their cost, they cost a single point, which I think is hilarious. And then I got a Salute Evo Hacker for all the things you need the Evo to do. Throw baggage at to reload those pitchers. And then, of course, toss in either U-turns to get rid of my my enemy drop troops dropping in on me, and then throw out support where if I want as well on various. I shouldn't need support where. I didn't mean support where. I meant the other one. Fairy dust. Firewalls. Yeah, firewalls. Fairy dusts.
It's still support where. It's just a different name.
Just different.
All right. You're running out of time, Dan.
Dan, go right
faster. Type faster.
Oh, sorry. I've been done. I just needed to port it over.
It's you, buddy.
Look, this is an incoherent list that I should feel bad about.
Don't feel bad about it.
Look, we haven't even touched like a third of the profiles in this faction.
I know. This part we're gonna be forever.
This is why I was like, it was decision paralysis.
Oh my god! Look at this! Look at this!
So there's a story of one of my best buddies that I grew up with, also named Dan, and when his kid was like 2 years old, he told me a story. It's like in his outside of the bathroom, like it kind of the upstairs kind of split and kind of like a weird kind of whatever. And his little naked 2-year-old got out of the bathroom, ran down the hall, saw 2 lanes, kind of half stumbled, and then ran into the corner and fell over because it didn't know which way to go. That's how I felt right now. I saw all these profiles, and it's freaking nomads, so I don't know anything about them. And this is what we got.
So you got Riot Girls. Is there a fire team in here somewhere? Shoot me your
Riot Girl, Avicina, and Fiddler all have the Riot Girl tag.
Oh, right. Because they're on the Riot Girl fire team. There you go. Because they're all girls.
Look, it was like, how many characters can I bring? And then I started bringing all of them. I was like, this is terrible. And I had to remove some. But I brought a lot, and I'm quite proud of it.
I like it.
Let's go through this. I don't even know what the hell's going on here. So we got Riot Girl Firewall -6, because, I don't know. Probably not gonna. Then we got Avicina with the arm, Doctor +3, no wounding cap. I don't know.
They keep trying to make her good. Immunity arm is a good way to go.
Yeah, she gets there. Her thing has always been she gets there, right? With no wounding cap doctor. So like if she needs to go heal somebody, and she's healing on 18s, so you can't shock her. At least.
With 15 is not terrible.
Yep.
Going up. Keep those guys
plus
up.
3. It's whip 18,
It's 18.
to doctor.
Oh, 18. Fair enough. But for like pushing buttons, she's also 15, which is very solid.
Yep.
We got Robin Hook.
This is Robin Hook's profile has had, again, a bunch of changes because when it first came out, it was like, what is this? Now it's got an emitter, which is nice.
Cowards didn't step up. Where is plus 3 burst tack bow? You fucking pussies. Change it. Make it plus 3 burst.
That's what we said when he first came out. We were like,
make it something different. I'll die on that. You can still do it.
Yeah, you can still do it. Burst plus 2 tack bow. Just do it. Done. That just drop the S. Give him burst plus 3. Make him a 4 shot.
You can make it plus 3. Who cares? What is that going to do compared to the bandit garbage in the previous?
Give him the Robin Hood. Give him the Robin Hood Men in Tights bow.
Robin Hood being able to shoot BS-11 tack bows. I don't care. Go for it. I think that'd be great.
He also used to be a remote, didn't he?
No, he was always a heavy infantry.
Was he? Because I knew he was hackable, but I thought they
because he has remote presence.
But I thought they could give him support before.
No, you specifically couldn't. That was his whole. They gave him immunity enhanced, which is cool, and he's got booty.
Super jump 3 too, so he jumps 9 inches.
Yep, except for when he's in that link.
And
they all watch him jump away.
Look, he just tags along the link, and then when he wants to go off and be a hero, he can do that.
Yeah, he's Link, is what he is. He's like, he says Robin Hook, but he's actually Link from Zelda. His whole thing
grappling hook and all.
He has a grappling hook and all. Yeah, exactly.
Uhahu is also around. Also can link with the group. Do I want to bring all of them in a group? Probably not. Maybe.
Probably. Then you get Uhahu under that firewall.
That's what you want her in the firewall for.
Yeah. And you get the bonus on the pitcher dice.
And she's got her own pitcher. She has an assault pistol, decharges, immune to shock.
Hey, look at that. She's got an assault pistol. Look at that.
And she's got a hacking device plus with SR2 -2 total control. She can eat a tag.
That Riot Girl dodges on 17s in this link.
Sure does.
Hey. Just poke out. But shoot me. Go ahead. Come on.
She'll get there for sure.
Give me a try. I got another link with Mother Agatha Kusanagi as lieutenant and a Cenobite.
Well, we've talked about how much we love the Cenobites. There is no better cheap -6 light infantry in the game, I don't think.
He's heavy infantry because he's 2 wounds.
Or heavy infantry, sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely heavy infantry.
He's definitely up there. Like
talk about Wabara. She got a glow up. They like halved her point value. Remember, she was like 48 points before. She's like 32 now.
She's been getting buffs since the moment she came out.
Yeah,
they did that pre-release, and we talked about it way back when, and then they just immediately changed her.
Yeah.
But now they've gone kind of back where she lost the extra wound, which is depressing.
It is.
Because now it's like you were better when you were no wounding cap /2 wound.
Yep.
Now it's just 1 wound shock immune. She's a real good doctor.
But she has so much fighting tech, and to not be tough enough to use it kind of sucks.
Mim6, right? Like, welcome to being
a custodian. I would just have kept her no wounding cap, or even just given her dogged. Like something so that she can always get there. Like that's the idea, is she's supposed to be like this berserk nun, right? That always you're not expecting an explosive close combat hammer out of a nun, and she runs over and beats the shit out of you. But that she's also a compassionate doctor that heals the extreme Zellenkrieger.
She hits you with the hammer.
She raised the extreme Growlenkrieger. That's her thing. She's the splinter to his Raphael. And he dies. Yeah, he dies just like in the original Eastman and Laird comics.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she doesn't block. I feel like she needs to be somewhere where she can heal 2 wounds, right?
Yeah.
But
the only guys they're getting that are the Observance fellows.
Yeah.
Or
the
like
and the Riot Girls. She can bring the Riot Girl back in that link, and the Cenobite too.
But they're in the other link. The Cenobite is in this link.
She can bring back the Cenobite in that link.
Yeah.
I can
and actually she brings back Kusanagi to full too, because Kusanagi would ignore the. Oh no, but I guess she's
only 1 vitality and no wounding cap, so it doesn't. No relevance. But I mean, Mim6 is nice. Mim6, they're all just Mim6, so they run up that side of the board. If they can't deal with Mim6, then they're in trouble.
Let's talk about Kusanagi.
Yeah.
BS14, Mim6, no wounding cap, religious, stealth.
All the guns.
Specialist.
Now, she's got 2 profiles here. There's an AP Spitfire and a multi-rifle +1 burst. I like both. but I really like that EM grenade launcher. You're losing 6 inches of range off the multi-rifle, but gaining the EM grenade launcher, right? And a zapper if you take it. What do you think, Owen, between those two? I think I'd probably take the multi-rifle. Same burst, same damage.
It's like, for me, it's the SWIC. Do I want to pay or do I want to get? If I needed the more SWIC, I take the EM grenade launcher for the +1 SWIC. If I don't need it, I'll bring the AP. Because, like, as cool as that EM grenade launcher is, there's another guy with a better EM grenade launcher in this faction for the same cost. So, like, if I really wanted it, I just bring that one. So that's I don't know. I would never bring Kusanagi. I've tried.
Everyone's tried. She's so cool.
The only thing is if you want that SWIC, because she's the only one who gets you that SWIC. And so
but this isn't a super SWIC hungry faction, because a lot of what's cool about them doesn't necessarily cost you SWC.
Oh, it certainly can be. You can do some
it can be if you do the
wacky stuff.
If you make what Spud used to call the misery engine and you go all neurosynetics, you can spend your SWIC real fast. You're right.
No, just lean into the observance stuff. The observance stuff is super like if you brought 2 Cenobite heavy rockets in a link with a penitent, that's 4.5. And it's dirt cheap for points, but it gives you access to like every kind of gun that you could want.
Yeah, you're right.
But it eats up all your SWIC. So like, do you bring Kusanagi for that? Maybe. Like, that would be where I would look at it. But your faction has no chain of command, so you better hope that she doesn't get targeted, and she's a very obvious lieutenant.
Yes.
Well, I guess Agatha can heal up the Cenobite. Cenobite pops around the corner, double chain rifles, pops back, maybe dies for a trade, and then Agatha picks them back up.
The Cenobite in that link, I think if I had the thinking, I'd probably make it the heavy rocket one, because then you got a long range gunfighter in that link, and he can do that, and then Agatha can put them back together.
Well, he's got the AP Spitfire, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. I'm just saying in that particular in that link that he put together.
I think I'd bring the healer.
The
Reverend healer.
The rocket reaches out further than the Spitfire. That's all.
Well, fair enough. I was just going to say I would, instead of Agatha, bring the Reverend healer, and those would be my 3, because then the Reverend healer has an emitter and it reaches out far,
right, to
solve the Spitfire problem. And it's another type of gun.
Yep.
I want to have all the tools in my belts.
So he's so light on SWC. That was just my thought. Like, take another SWC gun.
Sure.
Got an Evo hacker.
Yeah.
And then I got a Khmer with Pupniks.
Yep.
Because I don't know, they seem fun.
Pupniks are very fun.
The few times I've played against them, they're just kind of, with the climbing plus, they can just like swarm over things. It's
terrifying.
Yeah. They get their irregular to throw an Eclipse grenade, kind of help things out, or kind of just move up the board, and then just kind of, you can move them to advance up, or you can keep them till later, and then when all the obvious stuff is dead or hiding, then they can just run them and clean up just about everything. So that's pretty good. Second group, we got Denma. I like Denma. I like him.
Sure. Let's talk about Denma. With his 6'2", CC23, Berserk, Courage, Dodge +2, Impetuous, Martial Arts, Metachemistry, Reroll, Natural Born Warrior, and No Cover. Smoke, and a PS6 APDA close combat weapon.
Yeah, so in Alberta, we have 2 big tournaments, the Hotter Than Hells and Clothing Carbonite. And last Hotter Than Hells, last round, I forgot to shoot Denma, who rolled into regen. And then he regen and walked up and then ruined everything on that side of the board.
No.
And all I needed to do was kill him, and I think I guaranteed win that game. And instead we tied 3-3. So it was like, dang it. And I had the order to do it too. But it was like, he's down, it's fine. And then
back he came. Well, you did cover a bunch of things we didn't take. I like your list. I mean, it's got a cool, I like the all Riot Girl Fire team. And yeah, I think we already talked about the only like couple of things that we were like, for a first try, man, it's a pretty good list.
There's just a lot of good stuff in it.
It plays the hits.
There's just good stuff everywhere.
Did you have any bonus lists this time, Owen, for any of the trolley you can max things out?
Not for this one.
This one doesn't really. It's mostly just if you want to do like the all melee rush, you can do that, because there's a bunch of like, you can take all the war bands if you want to, but it's not that many points. So crazily enough, you still get like a ton of stuff on top of that. You know what I mean? Like if you do like Bran, Denma, and then max Morlocks and max like everything else. You can take like Amadeus even for more melee guys.
I mean, you can do some crazy stuff, but I mean, this faction is just like I'm. It's pretty close, but there's now just about more models in Bakunin than in Nomads.
Yeah.
There's only 3, I think, more profiles in vanilla Nomads, like total choices
mixing
to pick
the
from,
factions. Yeah.
compared to just Bakunin.
Yeah. They got, well, they the most recent they got a glow up too, right? So they got all the extra stuff. And they got to share the stuff that everybody got, like the Vostok in N4. And
Also, they keep like an insane amount of models that they don't give back to that vanilla. Like all of the Reverend stuff, almost, and all of the Observant stuff, almost, don't go back. And neither do their tags, and many of their characters don't. And so, like, there's like 20 profiles in this faction that don't show up in vanilla.
Fiddlers in a million factions. Hilariously.
They're the most unique.
Yeah.
Outside of Tohag, they don't count.
No.
Correct.
Not a real faction.
But yeah, like there's so many things in this faction because like nobody brought a Mars Spider.
Well, let's talk about him.
Like,
that's the first one we didn't take. He's a neat guy. 360 visor gizmo kit, CC attack +1 burst, climbing plus courage. He's Spider-Man. That's the whole idea, is he's Spider-Man. CC 23, and then Fizz 13, Whip 13. It's got a assault pistol and a D8 close combat with PS7. And they've got like a variety of up close weapons, so heavy flamethrower +1 burst, flash pulses, and grenades. You get a Panzerfaust.
He's Spider-Man without 6 cents.
Isn't that a crime?
360 is 6 cents, just better.
It is, yeah. 360 is 6 cents.
Yeah. No, these guys are great. I believe they lost their link though.
They're not linkable anymore. No, there's no link for them. They used to have like a little duo they could run around in.
Yeah, it was them and I think Robin Hook.
They get it. They get it in reinforcements. They get it in reinforcements.
They exist. They're an add-on to the
armored fire team. You can add one of them to the Stig or the Lizard.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew it was with Robin Hook.
So you can do, but the thing is that the orphan exists, right?
Right, but this guy is just a faster, fightier orphan
without a repeater. I guess in the Lizard it doesn't matter because the Lizard is a repeater, but
and the Stigmata may not care because it's a hacker and like he's just going to fight back against enemies. Yeah. But like a double flamethrower Panzerfaust engineer who's climbing plus 360 and burst 2 CC at 23 is not bad.
Not bad.
Like CC attack +1 burst on a DA weapon means he's also like Captain, I can blow up the mind wipe box.
Mm-hmm.
But they're cheap. Like he's 18 points for a bunch of flamethrowers that runs around.
I think I like the 22.1 to bring, like if you're bringing like a lizard.
Yeah.
To like
to drag
have an engineer around.
Yeah,
but then also
if you're not taking the orphan,
so much more than just being engineer.
Yeah, if you're not taking the orphan, take the Mars Spider. Because the orphan is how many points? The orphan is
21.
Yeah,
they're very
for one more point though, you get the melee, so you get all the templates.
You get flamethrowers instead of a mine.
Yeah,
you get a Panzerfaust instead of a mine.
Yeah,
your ability, assault pistol.
The biggest claim to fame is the fact that he can keep pace because he's 6'2", and the orphan is not.
Yeah, the orphan's slowing down.
And so like he's keeping up with that tag, whichever one it is. Yeah, no, I love those guys.
And he can blow up a box like nobody's business.
Sure can. That +1 burst in the DA.
And he can deal with like if there's a Moran on a rooftop that you otherwise can't really get at, he just climbs up there and double flamethrowers them.
He's great in mind wipe because the tag just drags him over there and then he just goes and beats up all the boxes once you identify them.
In mind wipe, your Stigmata is the special hacker.
No, I know. Yeah,
your Stigmata goes and is
great,
like, I have done it.
But why not both? Why not take a lizard and 2 Stigmatas? Because that's a list that neither of us took. That I'm shocked. I played against that list last week because Greg took it, and a lizard with 2 Stigmatas is a horror show. Let me tell you, it is a fun army to play against.
I brought that to Higher Than Hills.
Did you? Nice.
I did. Yeah, it's fun.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
well, and then we didn't talk about any of the observance stuff. Really, we just talked about Kusanagi and a couple of the primary ones. We didn't talk about the initiated at all. Your parachutist / camo guys.
Yeah, so like it's almost worth breaking this up into groups.
Okay.
Because there's kind of like 3 groups in kind of 4, but 3 for sure. You have your reverend stuff.
Yep.
Of all the different flavors, the observant stuff of all of its different flavors, the riot girls in all of their different flavors, And then you get the core troopers who kind of dip into all of them. And then you get the taskmasters who are all of the the monkey people.
Yeah.
Who are all over the place in stats and abilities and jobs, but they're all basically chain riflemans. But the observer initiated,
and they're all like the climbing, get you there, like the Zon.
Oh yeah,
and
metachemistry on every one of them.
Yeah,
like
Wolfgang, the Zonkrieger,
the Morlocks, they all have it. Like that's
they're all the freaky black lab experiments that they're literally test monkeys for the weird pseudoscience that is making all this stuff.
If you want to go into the hacking game, which you definitely can with Pywell and Custodiers and things like that, Initiate Observer has a infiltration turn 0 repeater.
Yep.
And he's cheap, 18 points.
Yep, 18 points. Camo. Surprise attack -3, one use camo, infiltrate mine layer.
Also a dirt cheap boarding shotgun. If you really want to have a parachutist, you can with mimetism and a boarding pistol. But in my opinion, it's definitely that deployable repeater.
The deployable repeater is the most useful profile there. Yeah. We talked about Agatha and the orphans. Prowlers we didn't mention.
There was one orphan that we didn't talk about. It is the MSV2 multi-marksman.
That's true.
Very different than the other ones.
Yeah.
Because
the other ones are support.
Because that one is the basis of the observance groups. So other than a penitent, which we'll get to, this guy with Cenobites is also a very powerful group because you've got MSV2, dirt cheap smoke, and then Cenobites to back it up.
Yeah.
Or not bad for 25 points. Only BS12, but 25 points.
You get the special dice really easily because the Cenobite just comes along with it. And then your extra guy is either a penitent, Kusanagi, Agatha, a Moira. It's a penitent or a second orphan because they could also just bring the repeater orphan, and now they're hackers as well.
So you do have some hidden deploy in this faction, and that's the Prowlers. Camo, immunity, arm. Arm 2, BS12, like gunfighters. And they have train total, surprise attack, specialist op. They're a bit expensive for what they do. There's a killer hacker on top of that too. So there's a single specialist, the boarding shotgun. And they all have silenced pistols, which is neat too. AVA
immunity arm is such a weird thing on only one wound guys.
It means no shock, right? You can't shock them down.
Explosive.
Can't explode them. Can't DA them, right? Yeah. Arm 2 and cover is not nothing. And then BTS 6, they don't get the BTS bonus, but they're pretty tough for being hidden deploy guys.
They also opened the door to being able to have disco ballers wherever you want. Not that the Riot Girl can't do it, but the fact that this guy could just show up, launch 2 disco balls on 15s, and then just block an entire section off.
And then suppress his multi.
That's true, actually. Because they're at +3 throwing, so you're throwing on 15s, you're throwing a disco ball basically into their deployment.
Exactly.
And it's like that arrow piece gets to see nothing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You can basically turn off their ability to ARO you and walk around freely. And it's a nice pocket piece.
Yeah.
And your opponent will have no idea where it is, and you can take 3 of them. Now, that's 34 points you spend to do that, but
I don't know how the hell you're going to spend 3 if running 3 but this is the thing about this whole faction.
Right? There's a lot of stuff in that price range.
You're making choices, and all of them are pretty good. It's just, what did you pick?
And it's more choices than the Nomads even.
It's pretty close, yeah.
We talked about Reverend Healers, the doctor version of that. There's not really a lot to say.
The biggest change is that they got an emitter. They didn't have that before. And now they have a MIM6 emitter.
A MIM6 29-point emitter.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice.
And medkit plus burst. So it's against your stacked fizz Cenobites. So I guess they're only 12, but still. Burst 2 is better than 1 roll.
Moiras are your core fire team. They're all NCO, all shock immune. MIM -6, number 2, 6th sense, religious stealth. They're all in the 26 to 33 point range, right? They get all the guns, HMGs, multi-snipers, multi-rifle EM launcher, zappers. They're all Kusanagis. They're little babies. They're little baby Kusanagis.
I tried really hard. I think there's something there if you bring 2 snipers and a Cenobite.
Yeah.
And they literally just hug the back edge of your board, and they make your opponent have to go, how do I deal with MIM6 burst 1.5 multi-snipers?
Yeah. I think the way you make all these guys work is you give them a duo option.
Yeah, because they can't duo either.
They can't do Harris. They're only Harris, right? So and there's nobody cheap enough to really make it work. I think if you gave Moira as a duo, and this is a 1 Harris 1 core faction, I think if you gave Moira's a duo option, like you had an Observance, a Reverend Fire team that was like just the Observance stuff, and then you have an Observance Fire team that's just Harris. Like the Riot Girls can duo. Give these guys duo too. Just give them duo Harris. I think you're fine. Because then they can have these little duos float around for 60 points and be tailored to do the work you want them to do. Like
yeah, they don't have a lot of duo options.
No.
Except for when you get to the Riot Girls.
It's just the Riot Girls. And the Riot Girl one's the one you took. And then you took it as like a full one. Which is funny. Right.
Well, this is the thing about Bakunin is like you're picking which sub faction of Bakunin you're gonna play.
Yeah.
You usually pick two, right?
Yeah.
And the problem for me is that the Reverend stuff just never really makes the cut. They always are like,
because you have to invest too much of it to get it to a fire team where now they're order efficient and they can pull around. Because like, you don't even get the order efficiency because you can't duo, right? You have to be a Harris at least. So you're spending 100 points typically just getting them to be able to walk around together.
And I mean, NCO, and there is one, it's because I wanted the Daemonist to work and we're almost there. So like they're one of the fewer NCO choices. I think that there is something here. But now the Rounder came out and he kind of invalidated even that.
He did, because the Rounder's great.
Because they gave him NCO.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was like, I don't know.
And the NCO the Rounder can hang out with 2 9-point moderators and just be the same guy, the same cool gunfighter.
Well, or he can bring all kinds of people with him, right? Like he can do whatever job. Like Zoe and Pylo can hang out with him, which means
I'm saying to get the fire team bonus and the efficiency and stuff. You know what I mean? Because he needs at least to have a moderator with him to make the moderator fire team. Yep. So why not have 2 and then get the bonus?
And that's my issue with the Moiras. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you gave them duo, they'd be fine. That's it. It just needs to have duo. Sin Eaters. These guys didn't get taken by any of us, but I had to play Spud's army, where he took all of them. He took max Sin Eaters. He took all the Sin Eater HMGs he could take, and he called that army the Misery Engine, because this is your Neurocinetic, Min-3, Shock Immune, Arm 3 gunfighter. These are just people that shoot you at full burst across the board. If you want, you can even take a marksmanship multi-sniper one. That guy's a horror show.
I brought 3 of these and 3 units of Pupniks, and that was my list.
That's very fun.
For Harder Than Hills. It was great.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Did
you bring all those snipers or did you bring HMGs?
They were all snipers.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Marksmanship sniper hit the board on 15s? Hell yeah. Sorry, 16s. 16s, excuse me.
Yeah. And then he just shoots DA.
He just kill DA. Yeah, two dice DA, shooting across the table, blowing up tags, blowing up whatever. They're all standing up. Fight as many as you can at the same time. Stick them in a brick.
Yes.
The Daemonist, Owen. You talk about this guy because you love him. You've been trying to make him work forever. Cool. I gave you one when you were here.
Yes. I have. No, you didn't. I bought him. No, I stole him. You're right.
I took my stuff. Yeah. He's so much better because he stole it.
He's sitting right here beside his other Daemonist because they have decoy 1, and I needed a second one because I didn't want to proxy it. He's the only source of counterintelligence. He is deceptively hard to kill, despite being a heavy infantry. He's ECM -3. He has decoy. He has guard on a fairly decent CC profile, 22 martial arts, 1 DA. He's got biometric visor and, of course, 2 wounds. But he's size 4, and he only gets a Vulcan shotgun. So he is like, I'm a support lieutenant, but he's lieutenant +1 order. And so now it becomes who has NCO, and your only choices are Moiras and Rounders.
Yep.
So if you're going to bring him, you have to bring Moiras or Rounders. And now because Rounders are so much better, you just bring Rounders. So you're going to bring him, you're going to bring Rounders, you're going to get access to counterintelligence, and you play a list that is completely content with going second. So like him, Sin Eaters, Rounders, Orphan infiltration, deployable repeaters, Zoe and Pywell, and like that. Like mix in whatever you want. And like that would be the list. And that's what I've been trying to get to work.
Yeah.
I
wish you could link. I just wish you could link.
He's size 4.
So there's lots of size 4s that can link.
Bikes, I guess.
No, the whatchamacallit, the Veronin and all kinds of people.
Fair enough. But I mean, but to what end? This guy doesn't want to go anywhere. He's happy just hanging out. He's extra orders and he's defending your base, and blah blah blah. And
I want a -9 to hack ECM. I want to throw him in there with a firewall -6 and make a -9 to hack.
I want him to have 360. I think he's the only guy who has a dog that isn't 360.
That isn't 360. Yeah.
Or Sixth Sense. Because Bakunin has it. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he's super cool model. It's the guy from the Astartes video. Like
it is. It's basically
very on the face. The artwork is even the same.
Yeah, it's basically the two psychers, the twin psychers from the boarding action.
Yeah,
extremely cool.
Well, no, it's the Inquisitor, because when the Inquisitor shouts and you see like the echo of his mask.
Oh, right, yeah.
The artwork for this guy is that thing, but they just shifted the colors from black and blue to red and white.
Red and white. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
So like he's super cool, but that's the only list I can think of that you could justify bringing him.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if it's very good. It's like a defensive list, which usually are better, but
36 points is still very expensive for support.
Well, it's 3 orders on a 2-wound guy and counterintelligence.
Sure, yeah. But if he never moves, I guess he's somewhat durable that you can't just hit one chain rifle and then get him.
Yeah, he's still heavy infantry.
And the decoy, right? So you have to deal
Arm 5 is, I mean, he's basically a size 4 mobile brigada.
Yeah.
Very hard to kill.
Yep.
Well, we didn't talk about the Penitent Observance.
I kind of love these guys. I was like looking at them like, oh damn.
Hacker -3.
Another list.
They're the whatchamacallit from the Knights Army. Owen, what's he called? The Sepulchre Knight. They're basically another Sepulchre Knight, except they have like kind of lighter guns. But they do have a continuous damage Red Fury with an Emarat, a continuous damage Red Fury with an EM grenade launcher +1 burst, and then BS attack continuous damage AP Spitfire.
And AP heavy pistol.
Yeah. That thing's crazy.
This guy's great. Like they didn't have continuous damage before.
No, they didn't.
They
gave him the whatchamacallit, the what is it? The Azrael upgrade.
Yeah, just light all your guns on fire.
Just light all your guns. Just shoot flaming bullets.
That is what I was referencing when I was talking about that MSV2 multi-marksman orphan and how it's so different, because you can bring that orphan with this Spitfire, and now all of a sudden you can do some pretty gross things, because you have, on one hand, you have access to white noise because you have hacking device pluses in this faction, because you're going to bring Uhahu or a Custodier.
Yep.
Because Uhahu is 19 points, right? And so your link team could be Orphan, who is a repeater, Orphan with MSV2, and Penitent. So you get the bonus, and then you have any smoke, which you have 9 guys who carry smoke grenades in this faction.
You sure do.
And you can white noise. So you can always give yourself smoke or white noise and be MSV or not MSV to just counter whatever thing you're running into for 80 points. 83 points for those 3 guys.
Yep,
it's just a really powerful Harris, in my opinion.
They can all go together?
Yeah, like the 3 of them, Orphan, Penitent.
Yeah, Orphan, Penitent, or Orphan, Cenobite, Penitent. Like, they have so many choices. Like, I really like... you could do Harris Core, and one is Penitent with the AP Spitfire.
No, they're only Harris. That's the challenge.
They are only Harris. So you only get one Harris. That's right. So you only do it once. That makes sense.
You get this group. Yep.
Like BS13, Mim 3, Warhorse, ECM Hacker -3, only BTS 3, but Armor 5.
Oh yeah.
So you're also, because you're Warhorse, you're immune to isolation. So you can only carbonite them. And your ECM -3 to hacking, and again, your engineer might be right there to just fix it. I'm a
big fan.
And it's pretty cool. AP burning guns are always great.
AP burning Spitfire is horrifying.
Dan loves his AP burning gun
with Mim -3 too, and Arm 5.
Like my Wreckers.
Oh, and Warhorse. So they ignore negative mod stacks back from BS stack. It's crazy.
And they get that +3 to discover and plus dodge, because they're going to be a 3-man who counts as the 3-man.
Yeah,
you have to kill all of them to get rid of this.
And then we get to talk about Owen, the guy that used to be this guy, the guy that used to be the Penitent, which is the Taskmaster, the Bakunin SWAS team, who has Fire Team Master Morlocks, Zellenkriegers, and Connolly. And you have 3 of these guys. Now, what's interesting is these ones can do
a great fighter.
They can duo and they can Harris, but the duo won't do anything unless you, because you have to take at least 2 to give this guy burst bonus. This guy used to do everything.
He turns people regular when they're duos. Still.
Yep.
So there's something. He's martial
arts 1, mind layer, and stealth. And they got shock mines typically, but some have crazy koalas as well. And you can strategically deploy the Harris up table with a Red Fury, Pulsar, Crazy Koala, Tinbot Firewall -3, and drag, like, I don't know, the Denma and a Zellenkrieger with you.
This is the hardest sell for me.
Yeah, he's way too many points.
He's fine because he's giving you a discount. The real challenge I run into is, this is your Harris?
Yeah.
All these choices you had. All of these amazing groups of dudes that you could bring, and you went with the Taskmaster one to save points. And, like, don't get me wrong, I did in the list that I posted.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go the orphan route because I want to tag. But if I didn't go the tag, you go orphan, and then you don't bring this guy. And so it's like, he's a pretty good shooter. Like, he's BS-13. Sure. You can bring him with the 2 guys, and he'd be a pretty good gun. But just bring a Cenobite. He's cheaper, or not, sorry, the Cenobite, the Penitent.
Yep.
And he'll do the job. Oh, he doesn't have the melee ability and a little bit less BTS, but Warhorse goes a long friggin' way when you're a heavy infantry.
Sure does. Not being able to be isolated is a huge deal. Ignoring BS mods is a huge deal. They're kind of everywhere now.
He seems pricey.
I guess there's 2 guys we didn't talk about in that warbands list, because actually, and we didn't talk about zeros, but let's do the warbands list first because they go with that Taskmaster. The Extreme Zellenkrieger, he's a Zellenkrieger. He's got a bigger BS and he's size 5.
I mean, both of these troops are CC guys with smoke grenades.
And he's immune BTS.
I guess we actually didn't talk about Morlocks. Nobody actually.
We're going to afterwards. We're going to afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Zellenkriegers first.
Yeah, Zellenkriegers first because they're both part of
the Extreme Zellenkrieger throws smoke better.
Yeah, that's really the reason to take him, and he's 3 points more, and he's got immunity BTS.
Size 5.
Size 5.
He's not even higher armor. Like,
nope. He's still just naked. He's got his. I just wish he had like dogged, or no wounding cap. You know what I mean? Something to kind of make him 2 wounds, just to make him that little bit more durable.
He's immunity BTS.
Make him armor 5. Like,
yeah, sure.
Why not?
He's literally he
doesn't get cover. He's just literally shot anyway.
King Koopa. He's King Koopa. Like, why can't he have some armor? And then we have our Morlock group. Morlock group, metachemistry, no cover, just warband guys, chain rifles, smoke grenades. They're all smoke throwers, 6 points. Again, cheap regular orders when you stick them with a Taskmaster if you want to do that investment. But like you said, are you going to spend your Harris on this? Or
you probably bring these guys regardless of whether you put them in that Harris,
just for disruption purposes. Yeah,
and cheap smoke.
If you're taking an MSV piece, yeah, you can throw smoke for real cheap on these guys with their impetuous regulars.
I don't understand why the Morlocks seem the obvious choice over the Zellenkriegers. It's just cheaper, and they do basically the same job.
They're more specific to what they do, and they're not kind of weighed down by a bunch of extra rules they're not always using, right? They still have chemistry, they still have martial arts, impetuous, they dodge, they have courage. Like, you don't need much else.
I guess the Zellenkriegers get the DA CC weapon to break some boxes in some missions.
So do Morlocks. And they get assault pistols and
or ES. They just pick whichever one they want.
They get every possible weapon. They get every possible weapon. If they want a combi rifle, they can have a smoke grenade launcher too.
The Zellenkrieger is slightly better in melee.
Uh-huh.
This is like the only other thing is the Zellenkrieger's structure, which makes him tag in with Zoe a little better because she's a really good engineer.
They're immune to viral that way too.
Yeah. And metachemistry reroll is better than not reroll.
Sure.
And because some of the metachemistries are actually insanity, I'm kind of okay with that.
I forgot that the Chimera's structure as well. Just the Popniks are vitality.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Denma. He's structure as well. So he's effectively immunity BTS from viral and stuff.
Yeah.
We got Wolfgang. Nobody took Wolfgang. Poor Wolfgang.
I'm never going to take Wolfgang.
He's got a BTS burst, +1 burst multi-rifle with continuous damage. Come on. He's 34 points.
We were just talking about the penitent.
He is a penitent, and he's immunity arm.
Like immunity arm with 2 wounds.
Burning multi-rifle.
Dodge 17.
Melee
Climbing plus. Berserk +3 for CC 25 up to 28.
Dan, CC doesn't exist in Infinity.
I don't know.
No CC in Infinity.
I think he's got some legs. I just don't see him getting used very often. And I wonder why.
Yeah.
He's the wrong points. He's going to show up in a couple other factions, but 34 points. Like, think about all of the profiles we've gone past who are fighting for that 34-point slot.
I think he gets used in Druze. And what's the blue and white one? Is that an Ariadne faction?
That's Cosmo.
I think it's used in Druze for sure. You might take him in vanilla.
He's way better than he was in N4.
Yeah, way better than he was in N4.
Immunity armor is really cool.
I need to find a model for him now.
Attack continuous damage is really cool. He comes in a blister pack, Dan. You can find.
No, they have him in at Sentry. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, do they?
Guarantee you can find him.
I think he comes in one of the dire foes.
Because no one's gonna.
No, he's just in a blister. He's just in a little blister pack. He was in a dire foes pack like a long time ago, but now he's just got an individual blister pack you can buy.
Because eventually I'm gonna revisit Druze.
Yeah. And if he's got that same profile on Druze, he's awesome. And then zeros. Nobody took any zeros. These are your infiltrators. Nobody really took infiltrating camo, which you get in this for relatively cheap. The zeros are real simple, just does what it says in the tin, infiltrating camo piece. Just a basic button pusher.
0 armor, 0 BTS.
Yep. If he's fighting, he's doing his job wrong. His job is to go push a button. His job is to be 20 points, a forward observer, and go push a button. Maybe lay a mine. If he's fighting, things are getting desperate, is what I would say.
Well, he also he plays camouflage for Bran.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might run into him.
He plays shell game for Bran.
You might run into Bran, and they're very different, and they do very different things. Yeah. But he's a cheap killer hacker.
Yep, sure.
13 killer hacker, 22 points, does objectives. Doop doop doop.
Yeah.
They do have one remote that is unique, not unique to them, but basically excluded from.
And none of us took him either, did they? The excluded from Corregidor, which is the meteor. Yep.
Yeah.
Hacker -3 repeater with combat jump. He's the flying drone, and I think he has super jump jet propulsion too. Yeah, he does, and triangulated fire. So he's basically the forward observer bot, but that jumps in.
This got me real good one game where it was like the board was just kind of there, where it was like, oh, I can just parachute just for free and then walk through this building and then hack you, spotlight you, and then missile you. I was like, well, fuck. Like,
people
where
really
did you come from?
Well, Dan, people really don't expect a triangulated fire boarding shotgun
or a repeater that parachutes in,
right? Yeah, but a triangulated fire boarding shotgun at PS6 AP, 24 inches, hitting on 11s, marksmanship. Yeah, but you marksmanship it.
That doesn't do anything.
I don't want to do anything for random fire. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, the triangulated fire EM carbine, I think, is where it's at.
For sure. That too.
Like, Pat, you're shut down. But
he used to have a combi, but now he's just got these 2 shotguns instead.
And remote presence sensor. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid little 19-point bot. He looks really cool too.
He does, yeah. I haven't.
You could do some funny stuff into enemy camo factions by Evo jumping him in and then censoring on a 19 and revealing all their stuff in their deployment zone.
Yeah.
Assuming you can land where the camos don't see you, which is entirely possible. Like, there's a lot of spots you can hide a size 3 because he's pretty short.
Yep, and you can support him in too if you need to. Get him Fizz 15.
Yep, and they get the Go Pod.
The Go Pod. Now, does Corregidor not get the Go Pod?
No.
So dumb. They're the space.
Corregidor's the only one who doesn't get it.
They're the only one who doesn't get it, which is so weird because they're like the outer space faction. They're the EVA guys.
Look, this is what I was talking about how Corregidor really aren't that dynamic.
I know. It's just weird.
They're neat, but you just like, you look at this and you start clicking through and you're like, hey,
hang on.
We don't get that.
So the Go Pod, aerial, BS stack -3. So he's got a mod stack. BS +1 burst BS, Mim -3, courage, dodge -3, no cover, super jump, jet propulsion, super jump 3. So it goes 11 inches when it super jumps, and then train total. So an 11-inch fly move, and then you get your multi-rifle emitter. So a
And a
4-shot
GoBot.
multi-rifle and a GoBot. And then the GoPod has an SR -1 BS attack, heavy rocket launcher, or AP submachine gun. So a 4-shot AP submachine gun and a 3-shot heavy rocket launcher and the GoBot. The GoBot has a flash pulse chain colt and is basically like a little peripheral.
Yes.
All the same core stats.
He's but no, oh, yeah, only MIMS 3 compared to most of the other flyers of MIMS 6.
But BS attack -3, which means that they basically, I think the idea here is that if you're fighting MSV2, you still get something.
Also dodge -3.
Also Warhorse. But yeah, it's pretty rare.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is, well, Warhorse would ignore half, MSV would ignore half, but it's kind of splitting the -6 everybody else gets because they don't get the BS attack.
Yeah, emitter +1 burst seems pretty good.
Sure is.
But I also like the heavy rocket launcher, +1 damage.
And AP submachine gun.
Because like you're not getting any cover, but with the MIM and BS attack.
And the SR -1. So the AP submachine gun's AP is going to be PS6. The heavy rocket's going to be PS5.
But what's also nice is when you're bullying people with either the emitter or heavy rocket, you can bully more people with the heavy rocket launcher.
Sure, yeah.
And they're often going to dodge because that's the best thing they can do instead of shooting long range back at you. And with the dodge -3, now you got a -3.
No, dodge -3 is when you dodge.
Well, and let's not forget the GoBot's synchronized, which I believe is the one.
They both activate. They can shoot at other targets. They both shoot. Yeah. This is what makes him the best of the flyers.
Yeah, it's because he has his little baby bot that's a lot like when we're looking at drummers, right?
A flashball.
That's right. Yeah, and if he gets close,
attack -3 flashballs.
Yeah.
He's also
has these.
At whip 13. Yeah. It's great.
That is not terrible.
And they're both 11s, right? So you're taking it from 2 angles. You're only responding to 1 unless you dodge, and everything is -3.
Can't shoot
your dodge is -3, right? So the BS attack applies to your dodging too, which is another reason why splitting that modifier.
But which one do you take? Cool. The multi-rifle emitter or the heavy rocket launcher?
Well, the dodge will be against everything.
No, he's saying out of the 2 of them.
Oh, to the 2 of them. I think I like the heavy rocket generally more because I love a template. Like I love a template gunfighter.
If you have the points, 100% the multi-rifle.
Meh.
Because you can suppress. And then your BS attack -3, mimetism -3, suppression -3.
Well, no, you can suppress the AP. You can suppress the AP SMG too.
Fair, but it's not the same as a multi-rifle.
The same range.
And then the emitter
pretty much the same
combo.
It's exactly the same actually because it has the -SR.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. The SR
it's exactly the same. Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
Next to
but then an emitter isn't the same as a heavy rocket.
No, emitter. If you need an emitter and you got the emitter, that's nice.
Because like I don't think this faction now, maybe in vanilla or Tunguska, we'll have a different conversation around why you'd want that guy. But like again, I have a penitent with an AP Spitfire that's burning you. Do I need another rocket? Do I need to have my Stigmata
I don't know
rocket?
if this guy goes like this guy's kind of a piece that doesn't need any support. Like it just does what it does.
Yeah.
So if you've got the points to fit it in, you get the points to fit it in. I think it depends, like you said, on what's the build for the rest of the army. So, but I guess what we should leave people with is like I think both are viable. They just do very different jobs, and it's going to be dependent upon what you built the rest of the list around.
My perspective, the heavy rocket shows up a lot more in this faction than emitters do.
Sure.
Like the guys who are going to want to bring an emitter, and emitters are really good.
Yep.
Yep.
You're not wrong. No, I think as far as flyers go, the GoBot's up there. Like, what was the other one that we really liked? Was it the Yu Ching one?
The Pano one is
the Pano one.
The red eye.
The red eye. There's a couple that were like cheap where we're just like, this is actually a viable flyer. Like, this is a thing that I think the cheaper the better in these flyers.
The Yu Ching one is like a 28.1 that is completely non-lethal, but can do a job. It's split sensor.
It had the EM, didn't it? Was it the one that was all EM guns? Yeah, we like that one too. We haven't been, it's funny because we initially kind of like dunked on the flyers, but I think some of them are kind of warming on us when we've seen like these newer profiles.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would never bring this guy, but like, don't go too far. Can't go prone. Size 7.
But also don't listen to Owen.
He's neat and he kind of does the thing.
Yeah.
But it's like 40
But when
points?
has Owen ever won anything?
Yeah, what does Owen know about the game, really? Nothing as far as we can tell.
I struggle, okay? I make things up and then I lie, and it kind of works.
All right. Well, the sun's going down here. We've got, what is it? We got 2 of these left. We have vanilla nomads. Before that, we have to do, I've lost it. Tunguska.
One last comment on these guys compared to Corregidor.
Yep.
They can bring 2 Vostoks in a link or Cyclones in links, and they are wild cards, and they can join whatever they want. So that cool Cyclone or Vostok link that you could do in Corregidor, you can do it here, but better because you could do it with anyone. Yes, and you can do it twice.
Yeah,
or do you do it actually because you have so many other good profiles as well, you know?
And the problem again is, what do you use your Harris and your core on? Because you only get one of each, and you've got one duo option here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
I
is
guess the nice
challenge.
thing is those guys can hang out with the tags. So if you want the lizard to have a buddy, you could hang them out with the lizard. If you want the,
I think the moderator Zoe Pywell double Vostok is a pretty horrifying link team.
It's pretty cool.
I think I like, now that I've like dissected Bakunin a bit more in my brain, I like that there's decisions to be made and kind of like movement, and it's not so easy, and it's not just all amazing. There's there are decisions.
Well, like, I think that's what's so cool about them is it is all amazing.
Yeah.
But which one did you pick? Because you're not allowed to have everything.
Because there's like, and that's good list design, to be honest. Like, you don't want to be able to get everything in a bucket, and you want to be able to take different lists that are neat and interesting.
Like when you're saying Reverence should get duo, I'm like super hesitant to like agree to that, because the moment you give more to Bakunin, like Bakunin didn't get anything.
The line is then do they get taken at all?
Right. And
I think they're not getting taken at all right now. So
that's probably true.
And what you can do is you can give them duo, and then you just cap the duo options at 3.
Ash, did the sun just suddenly go down? You're so dark.
The sun is gone. That's why everything's appearing. You can see the sun's literally gone down outside of my office. Yeah, it's bedtime. I gotta go put the kids to bed. All right, we'll be back with Tunguska, and that's going to be our second to last one for Nomads. Bye, everybody.